Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Denise Harlow. I'm CEO of the National Community Action Partnership, and we're thrilled to welcome you to today's conversation with Springfield College. The chat room is open, so please put your questions into the chat. We'd be happy to pause periodically and see what questions you have. And if you're watching this via recording from the website, please reach out to our membership department at any time if you have questions, concerns, want to follow up. And I know that the folks from Springfield College will also be sharing some contact information with you so that you can reach out to them directly. I'm just so excited when we are able to bring one of our endorsed vendors to the table. And I use vendor in a weird way when I think about Springfield College. They've been a partner of the partnership for a number of years. They've been stalwart partners of our organization and of our network. And we've been working with them over the last few years to upgrade, I think, the member benefits that community action agency staff can take advantage of across this country. And we know that folks come into community action service in a variety of ways. And we know that continuing education can be sometimes a challenge as an adult. How do we go back to school? How do we finish up that 2-year degree, that 4-year degree, finish up our certifications that we want to have under our belt? And Springfield College really provides community action agency staff a real opportunity. They're going to talk to you about a scholar or a grant program they have in partnership with us and our member agencies. They're going to talk about some of the credit hours you get because perhaps you are a certified Roma trainer or professional. So there are opportunities there to take what you know as community action agency folks in the field to earn that 2-year, 4-year, and graduate level degrees. So I am thrilled to turn this over to Melissa Bono from Springfield College. Melissa, thank you. And thank you to the entire team from Springfield for being here today and for being such great partners. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Denise. Hi, everyone. My name is Melanie. I work at Springfield College as our national online admissions recruiter. And today, I'm joined here by Leanne Litz and Mitch Sibley-Jett, and I'll let them do their introductions as well. But we're really excited to be able to present to you all and to just give you the information about the grant that you're already you already have access to, and we just want to make sure you have that information, you're equipped with that knowledge, and you know what is financially available to you if you are looking to come back to school to get your bachelor's degree or master's degree with us. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mitch.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Mitch Sibley-Jett. I'm the Assistant Director of External Partnerships, and I share Denise's enthusiasm for you and what you do, and we're thrilled to be here today sharing some of the benefits that attending Springfield College can bring.
And hi, everybody. I'm Leanne Litz. I'm the director of the Regional and Online Admissions Department at Springfield College. I share exactly those same sentiments. Really excited. I've been a part of this partnership for several years now and looking forward to continuing it and even strengthening it going down the road. But we're really excited to let you know what we have to offer and how you can take advantage of that. So I'll be monitoring the chat box today too. So if you have any questions as they come up, just go ahead and pop them in there and I will make sure that Mel has a moment to pause and answer anything that we can do for you. Welcome.
Awesome. And so with that, we'll go ahead and jump into our presentation and take a look at what we'll be covering here today. First, we're going to just do a little bit of an introduction about Springfield College as a whole, our various locations that we have throughout the United States. And then we'll also get into our academic programs that we offer both at the bachelor's degree level and the master's degree level. We'll continue on and we'll speak about our scheduling options, the curriculum of some of these programs, and then we'll get into a really exciting piece about our prior learning assessment program. We call that PLA for short. And essentially what it is a chance to get your real world professional life experience to qualify for academic credit. So we'll definitely, get into that in a little bit more detail in a future slide. After that, we'll talk about admissions requirements, both at the bachelor's and master's degree level, the tuition and financial aid options, and why you're all here, as well as the Community Action Partnership Grant. So we'll get to talk about the perks that are available to you all as Community Action Agency employees, and how you can really take advantage of that when coming back to get your education. And finally, we'll wrap up with some important upcoming dates and deadlines to keep in mind if you are thinking about moving forward for our next entry term, which would be the summer entry term. So we'll touch upon that right before we wrap up our presentation, and we'll definitely leave some time for some open discussion or any questions that you might have. But like Leanne has mentioned, and also Denise, if you have any questions that arise during this call that you'd like to, you don't want to forget them, so please drop them in the chat, and we can definitely just take a little pause and answer them, and any of those burning questions that you might have. All right, so here is our undergraduate recruitment team here at Springfield College, and these are specifically for our regional and online campuses. We'll get into the difference between our main campus out in Springfield, Massachusetts, and our regional and online programs. But essentially, this is just a little overview, and I think it's very helpful for folks that are coming from any different agency located throughout the United States. You'll be able to see exactly what states each of our undergraduate recruitment counselors have. So just pay attention to where you fall into these categories, and just we can take a quick pause and let you write down any contact information for your appropriate recruiter if you'd like to follow up with them after the call. And we will also be sending along some of our recruiters' contact information afterwards. So if you can't, write it down in time, no worries. We'll definitely give you this information. As for our graduate admissions team, we have 3 graduate admissions counselors, and they're broken down by the various schools that they recruit for. So again, if you see, a particular school or area of interest listed under any of these graduate admissions counselors, little boxes here, you can go ahead and write down their email or their phone number. And again, we'd be happy to share this contact information post this session today, so that way you have access to it easily. All right, and Mitch, if you'd like to.
Yeah, so this slide is just a kind of a quick overview of our history. We've been around for a while now, since 1885, which is what, 137 years. So we're not just a fly-by-night college. We've been around forever. And we are also a private nonprofit institution. And what's important to note about that is we are accredited by the New England Commission of Higher Ed. Each college and university in the whole United States has accreditation, and this is the highest level of accreditation that we also enjoy. In Springfield College, we're guided really by the humanics philosophy, which means that we educate, we teach, we train, we recruit, all in the spirit of body, mind, and spirit, and we're teaching students to serve others. So in this world of turmoil, that's a really important thing. And as a nice trivia note, we are the inventor of basketball. A man named James Naismith was challenged to come up with a winter sport for his students back in 1891. And so he invented the game of basketball here. And it's also why the Basketball Hall of Fame is in Springfield, Mass.
And if you've ever seen us at any of the Community Action Agency conferences, we're the ones with the little orange balls because of it.
Right.
There you go.
We have more of these, Jovita, if you want us to. And so just in terms of where we're located, some folks think, well, we just have one campus, but the truth is we have a main campus in Boston, or excuse me, Springfield. We have another physical campus in Boston. We have one in Greater Houston. And then we also have an online presence, which means if you have a laptop anywhere in the world, you can take a course with us.
All right, and getting into our undergraduate program offerings, this is just a snapshot of the current degree programs that we offer at the baccalaureate level. And you'll see that underneath each of the boxes for these programs, we do designate exactly which campuses or which modality these programs are being offered in. So we'll do a quick overview on this slide, and then in future slides, we'll get into each program in particular, the curriculum associated with those, and just kind of getting into more of the weeds and the specifics of each individual program. So here we have our Bachelor of Science in Human Services. This is a very popular program among Community Action Agency employees, especially if you have pre-approved certifications or trainings that you've completed that could complement this degree nicely. And we'll talk about some of those that might be applicable to you all in a future slide as well. But there are 2 options for concentrations that you can add on underneath this umbrella. So you could do a Bachelor of Science in Human Services with either a concentration in addiction studies or in early childhood education. And this just gives students a way to really hone in on a specific area of interest that might complement either their personal interests or their professional background. Now, this particular program is offered at all campuses, all of our regional sites that we've just listed before, and also through our fully online model. Moving over to the next box to the right, we have our Bachelor of Science in Business Management. This particular degree program is offered either at our Springfield campus or fully online. So let me just kind of pause for one moment and mention that all 5 of these programs are offered fully online. So you'll see that where there will be some differences of folks that, if they'd like to take the hybrid option through a particular campus, it'll actually say that. But if you are located anywhere in the United States and you would like to partake in one of these programs, you have that ability to do so fully online. So just know that you have access to all of these. Moving forward, we also have our Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice, our Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice and Human Services. That's an interdisciplinary degree that allows students to have a dual focus in both fields. And then finally, we also have our Bachelor of Science in Recreation Management with a concentration in Community Youth Development and Leadership. So with that particular program, the concentration is already built in, and it's interwoven into the curriculum. As for our graduate programs, we've listed out some potential programs that may be of interest for you here today. So we'll start at the top here. We have our Master of Business Administration, an MBA with a concentration in nonprofit management. That one's offered fully online, and we're really excited about that program because I think that the nonprofit management really, that concentration really is something that sets us apart from, any other traditional business administration master's degree that you might be getting. This way you get a focus that is specifically in nonprofit work and could complement your work at a community action agency very nicely. We also have our Masters of Education in Counseling with a concentration in clinical mental health counseling. Please note that this particular program is only offered at our Boston site or our Springfield site. Unfortunately, we don't have that one fully online just yet, but hopefully, we'll have some other degrees that are offered fully online if that's the modality that you're looking for. In terms
I'm
of,
sorry, Melanie.
Yeah.
Really quickly, if anybody is interested in that program and doesn't happen to live in that vicinity, you can always still inquire with us, and we can determine whether or not we can meet the licensing requirements in your location.
Awesome. Thank you for bringing that up.
You got it.
Moving on to our next program, we also have our Master of Science in Human Services with a concentration in organizational leadership. Again, this one is offered fully online as well as at our Boston and Springfield campuses. And it really complements the undergraduate human services degree quite nicely. So if you are thinking about doing that human services undergrad, moving into the master's degree level, this will give you a chance to really look at leadership and what it means to be a strong, ethical leader, moving up in your organization. Moving on, we also have our Master of Science in Industrial and Organizational Psychology. That one's only offered at our Springfield campus. We have our Master of Social Work that is offered both in Springfield and in Worcester. And then we also have a Master of Education in Sport and Exercise Psychology that is offered fully online. That's one of our newer programs, and we're really excited about those. So all of these graduate degree programs vary in the amount of credits that are required in order to graduate. And so, for example, the MBA and our Human Services degree, those are both 30 credits and are designed to be completed in about 1.5 years if you are looking to do like a part-time track where you're taking 2 courses per term. Whereas the counseling, for example, is about 60 credits. So it would just depend on which program that you're interested in terms of time frame for how long it would take to complete.
So let's say that you're interested in these programs and you have to ask yourself, will these programs work for me as a working adult, as a busy working professional? We believe the answer is yes, for the following reasons. They're really designed around busy working professionals. It's not really set up for 18-year-olds who are looking to go to a brick and mortar college for the first time. It's set up for people already in the workforce. Class sizes tend to be smaller, and they put a premium on discussion, utilizing the experiences that you have, collaboration and group projects. The tuition is reasonable and affordable, and we'll get to that in just a second. And our term length for each semester is 15 weeks, 15 weeks in the fall, 15 weeks in the spring. And then there's a smaller semester in the summer of 12 weeks. The flexible scheduling really is a nice benefit too. And there's three kind of main options. The way that works is, one is a hybrid evening course, which puts a premium on taking classes Tuesday and Thursday evening, usually twice per month, with additional coursework in between. So that's one method. The second one is a hybrid weekend, where it's the same basic template, but it's Saturdays and Sundays, again, twice a month, with coursework in between. And then there's a fully online courses, which are becoming more and more popular, which are asynchronous. And that's a big fancy higher ed word, but it basically means the coursework is put up, let's say Sunday night, and you have any time during the week to complete it. You might watch the video, do a posting, read someone else's, but it's really designed so you can do the coursework and complete the assignments whenever you have the time, not when you need to be in class Tuesday, Thursday. So that's a really nice benefit of taking courses with us.
All right, so we'll get into each program in a little bit more detail, just so you have an idea of what to expect if any of the undergraduate programs, we're speaking to you. We're personally only going to cover the undergraduate bachelor's degree programs in this session, just for the sake of time. If you are interested in a master's degree program, what I would recommend is, after this call, like I mentioned, we will be sharing the contact information for all the appropriate admissions recruiters, both at the undergraduate level and at the graduate level. So just keep that in mind if you'd like to move forward with a master's degree, but these are going to be the undergraduate program offerings. So we'll start first with the Bachelor of Science in Business Management. This degree really prepares you to lead by providing both foundational knowledge across a wide range of business environments, as well as practical skills that you will need to strategically manage in an organization. So the core curriculum for all of these programs is 40 credits. That's essentially your general education requirements. The major requirements, that's the business management specific major. There's 48 credits associated with that. You'll take an additional miscellaneous 9 credits right there. And then you'll take as many electives needed to add up to the 120 credit minimum to graduate. That'll be at any institution that you go to. If you're looking to get a bachelor's degree, 120 credits is usually that magic number. Yet some students will go, above the 120 credits if they have an optional concentration added, or, a minor or of sorts. So just keep that in mind at any institution that you're interested in. All right, as for our criminal justice degree, this degree program, through this degree program, you will examine critical questions about the legal process, review the psychology behind why individuals commit crimes, and discuss how governments should balance individual rights and public safety. We see a lot of folks leave this program and go into law enforcement or into other similar positions or disciplines. And like I mentioned, in terms of the curriculum, that core curriculum is always going to stay the same right there with 40 credits. The criminal justice major requirements specifically are 39 credits. And then you'll, again, take as many electives as you need in order to add up to that 120 credit minimum. And I think the electives are a fun way to, try to learn more about another interest that you might have. So something that might be relevant to the criminal justice field, but maybe is a little bit more personalized to your specific area of interest. And then in terms of our criminal justice and human services degree, as I mentioned, this is an interdisciplinary mixed degree between both disciplines. We have both the criminal justice curriculum and the human services curriculum that both of our leaders of those departments, the faculty, have came together, collaborated, and decided here are the key facts and the key information that we'd like to blend both of these disciplines together with. And that's exactly what they've gone ahead and done for our students that have, this mixed interest in both criminal justice and in human services. So this degree program will really allow you to advocate for meaningful change within the criminal justice system, and it embraces collaborative efforts between communities and agencies. So in terms of the major requirements, there are 51 credits for this particular major. Again, just keep in mind that 40 credit minimum, 40 credit general core curriculum, and then the electives to add up to that 120 credit minimum to graduate. As for the Bachelor of Human Services, I think this is really what I would call our flagship program. All of our regional sites and even some of our fully online programs, they all really started with this foundational degree program that we offer, especially because the college is rooted in our humanics philosophy that really teaches students how to serve their communities and to be leaders within these communities as well. So this particular degree program enables you to build leadership skills to serve the community, develop critical thinking and social analysis skills, and learn about the history and future of human services, as well as integrate theory and practice into the classroom, workplace, and community. I think that a really telling quote that I once heard from a student was, "What I learn in class on the weekend, I use in the workplace on Monday." So I think that just right there for any of these programs is very telling to the type of work that you're going to be doing in the classroom. In terms of our core curriculum, like I said, it's always 40 credits there. The program required curriculum for the human services specific major is 30 credits, or 36 credits, excuse me. And then we'll take as many electives again to add up to that 120 credit minimum. And if you do choose to add on one of the 2 optional concentrations that we offer in either early childhood education or in addiction studies, there will be required courses that are specific to that concentration, but those credits will vary. One thing to keep in mind is between the electives and the concentration requirements, you may see some overlap. So you might not, be taking, 36 additional credits beyond the 120 credits. You might have some overlap there that complements nicely with the electives that are offered for the human services major. And our last program here is our Recreation Management bachelor's degree with a concentration in community youth development and leadership. And this program in particular allows professionals to improve the health and wellness in individuals and communities, to promote the protection of open space, and to really advocate for social equity and human connection to nature. We see people working in park and rec associations or things of that nature, and they seem to really, really like this sort of program. The core curriculum for this one, like all of our bachelor's degree programs, is 40 credits. The core requirements for the recreation management degree itself are 24 credits. And then that concentration in community youth development and leadership, that will total up to about 24 credits. And like the other programs, you will be taking some electives as well.
So let's say that you've listened to this and you say, wow, this is pretty cool. Maybe I don't have credits from college, but here's what we're going to do to help make that, to kind of shrink the gap. What we're going to do is evaluate the things that you've done, your training. We're going to look at all your transcripts. We're going to look at your military experience, certifications, and we're going to award as much possible credit for that as we possibly can. It is important to say that the minimum credits for entry into the baccalaureate, the 4-year degree program, is 15, but you can actually bring in up to 75 credits toward 120 credit degrees. So that's a good deal. But this slide really focuses on what we're going to try to do in terms of your work experience and give you credit for all the things that you've done. We already have a long list of credits pre-approved, and we're going to match up what you did with that list, and again, award you as much credit as we possibly can.
And we'll take you in a moment just to our partnership landing page with the community action agencies, and you'll get to see exactly what trainings from community action agencies might actually be eligible for credit as well. So like Mitch said, if one of these programs is speaking to you and you're thinking, what do I have to do? What are the next steps? We'll look at both at the bachelor's and the master's degree requirements. They're very similar, but it is a little bit more involved at the graduate level. So we'll start first with a bachelor's degree. The first thing we're going to ask you to do is to complete a fully online application. You access it through our website. It's free to complete, and you will not pay a cent until after you've been accepted here to the college. So just keep that in mind. The application process will be free to you. And then after you've been accepted, you'll have some time before you have to submit your enrollment deposit. So this application probably won't take you about I'd say it probably won't take you longer than about 25 to 30 minutes or so. And once you've completed that application, what happens is another person from the admissions team is looped in. It's one of our admissions assistants, and they will actually reach out to you and tell you what additional supplemental materials are needed to finish up your file. That will include your high school diploma or its equivalent, it's like a GED certificate. That can be as simple as a quick little clear photo with your cell phone. We don't need an official copy from your high school experience. But then when it comes to your previously attended regionally accredited institutions, any other college that you've attended prior to Springfield, we're going to ask for the official transcript from those institutions. And it's important to know, as Mitch mentioned, we do ask that you come in with a minimum of 15 college credits. That can either be from previous college experience. Maybe you did a little bit of time at a community college. Maybe you started at a four-year institution and didn't get the chance to finish your studies. Or maybe it's from our pre-approved list of certifications and trainings. You can use all of that in combination with one another. You could choose to only use the certifications and trainings, or only use your prior experience from college if those are the only two that you have. Let's say you only had a CDA, for example, your child development associate. That would get you 18 credits right off the bat there during our admissions during our admissions process, and you would be eligible for admission with just that credit right there, because we have recognized the rigor of that particular certification program. So like I said, you can use these two in combination with one another, or if the credits are adding up correctly to 15, you can also use them independently. But we do cap the amount of transfer credits that you're able to transfer in here at 75 credits. So if you're coming in with an associate's degree, that typically lands you somewhere between 60 to 70 credits. And then you'd probably get most of your credits, as long as they're a C- or higher, to transfer in here at Springfield. So just keep that in mind. Based on your previous experience, you might be able to get most of those credits that you've already done, transferred over here. But we do require that you complete 45 credits in-house here with Springfield in order to get that name on your diploma. As for the master's degree programs, again, we're going to ask for a very similar online application to be completed. And then afterwards, we're going to ask for a couple additional materials that were not asked for at the bachelor's degree level. So we're going to ask you for a personal statement. This is typically about 2 to 3 pages in length. And the real crux of what we're trying to get at with the personal statement is, tell us more about you. Tell us why you think Springfield's the right fit, and why this program makes sense for you and what it could do for you professionally. There are certain prompts to pick from, but that's really the underlying mission of what we're trying to accomplish with the personal statement, is to learn more about you. We're also going to be looking for some letters of recommendation or letters of reference. Depending on the program, you may need 1 letter. Some require 2 letters. So just, in the back of your brain, if you're thinking about a master's degree program, just think who might be able to speak on my character, as a professional, or maybe as a scholar, if you are still connected with some of your, previous professors that you might have dealt with at a previous institution. We're also going to ask for a copy of your most up-to-date professional resume. And we will again ask for any official transcripts that you've from previously attended institutions, especially where you've earned your bachelor's degree from. And we do ask that you come in with a minimum GPA of about a 2.5. After we've collected all of these things, the final step for some of these programs is to do an interview with a faculty member. And this is kind of that, I think when people hear interview, they clam up and get a little bit nervous. This is more so just to have an open conversation with an academic faculty member and get a chance to say, this is why I think the program's right. Do you think it's right for me? It's a two-way conversation. We want to make sure that you're a good fit for the college and that you feel as though Springfield's the right fit for you. So just making sure that, it's that last checkpoint before you are moved off to our admissions committee and your file is reviewed, and then you'll get your decision about your admission. And obviously, when it comes to, getting your education, we understand that, financing your education is a big factor. So we do want to highlight our different tuition costs and rates. So our undergraduate tuition is currently $515 per credit. And this would total up to approximately around $6,000 or so for a full-time student. That would be a student taking 4 classes per term. Now, if you decide that you only like to take 2 courses per term, obviously that's going to lessen the amount that you're paying for one particular semester. But when we look at your whole degree program as, in its entirety, you will be paying the same amount regardless of how many courses you're taking at a time. So the grand total will be the same. It'll just depend on how many credits you have left to complete once we've evaluated anything you're bringing in and transferring in from other institutions. So for some students, they say, workload wise, I can only take 2 credits at a time. And I think financially, 2 courses at a time, 6 credits total. They think that might make sense for them workload wise or financially. And that's the choice that they choose to make it, make sense for them. So it really is just up to your discretion. The only thing I do want to mention is that if you are considering taking advantage of the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, you will need to take a minimum of 2 courses per term. That is 6 credits total in order to be eligible for federal aid. As for the graduate tuition, we have 2 different rates here. We have our standard rate, and that is for our students that are doing our traditional programs through the main campus, and that would be $1,105 per credit, totaling up to a little less than $10,000 per term for a full-time student that's taking 9 credit hours. Now, if you're a hybrid or virtual online student, your rate would be $680 per credit. So you can already see the difference there. We want to make sure that our fully online and our hybrid options are more affordable for that busy working professional that has a lot of responsibilities, some of which being financial responsibilities. Perhaps you're a parent and you're also supporting a household. We want to make sure education is still accessible to you. And that's exactly why we've gone ahead and adjusted the rate for those fully online degree programs.
And continuing with the theme of, kind of how do I pay for it, as Melanie talked about, this slide really focuses on the specifics of how the grant is administered. CAP is one of our 3 national partners. And as alluded to before, we've had this partnership for a number of years. What it essentially does is it offers each and every employee at CAP, wherever they are, anywhere in the United States, to take courses with us at the regional or online campus, $5,000 up to a $5,000 grant, and that gets dispersed over the life that the student is with us. Let's say a student's going to be with us for 5 semesters, then $1,000 comes right off the top for tuition. And then what we're going to do is, as part of the process, send you through the financial aid office so they can help you find additional sources of funding. So again, to attend courses with us at the bachelor's degree, master's degree, up to $5,000 grant taken right off the top. If you're able to actually come to our main campus here in Springfield, Massachusetts, that grant goes from $5,000 to $10,000. It's dispersed the same way. I should also point out that if you complete an undergrad degree with us and you want to come back and get a master's degree, that grant is again eligible. So every subsequent degree, that grant is eligible. So bottom line, $5,000 if you attend regionally or online, $10,000 to complete a baccalaureate, master's, doctoral program, or a certificate of advanced study here at Springfield College.
And so with that, I think it's very helpful to pull up our partnership overview landing page so that you have an idea of where you can go to visit if you are thinking that Springfield College might be the right fit. So we're going to go ahead and click this link here. And I know that earlier on in our chat here, I believe that Jovita had actually put that link in. So it's the first link here, and we'll just go ahead and drop that in one more time. Leanne, if you're able to do that, that would be great. So we're going to go ahead and open up the web page. Take a little tour of it. So this is where I would suggest coming to as your one-stop shop for all things partnership related. As we scroll down here, you're going to see that we have a variety of different buttons. We have our graduate information session sign up button. You can click that to go join a specific graduate information session. We also have our regional and online undergraduate information sessions, which are essentially is what we've covered here today is with our undergraduate session or undergraduate programs. So if you do have further questions, you obviously can attend one of these too, but that's going to be a lot of the same information. We also have links to our fully online degree programs, all of our academic programs in general, and to our regional campus sites. And if you scroll down further, you'll see again the information that Mitch just covered with our 2 different levels of partnership grant. It'll tell you exactly what's eligible for which category, either the $5,000 or the $10,000 grant. And if you continue to scroll down here, there's going to be two buttons that you can click. The first is an inquiry button. You can hit inquire, and this will bring you to a form where you can actually give Springfield College a little bit more information about you, your name, your address, your program that you might want to be pursuing here at the college. And then that way we can line you up correctly with the appropriate admissions professional to answer any questions you may have about moving forward, about the academic programs or anything of the sort. Over here is our grant application form. So this is a one-page document that is completed by you and by a executive director or the human services director at your agency. So you'll fill out the top portion, give us some pretty standard basic information about yourself, about the degree program that you're moving forward with, and you'll go ahead and sign that top portion. The bottom portion is again filled out by a leader within your agency. And then once it's all completed and we've verified that you are working for Community Action Agency, all you'll have to do is just send this right off to our financial aid team, and all of their information is right down here. And this form will cover you for 3 semesters. So let's say you're going to start with us this upcoming summer term. You would submit it prior to the summer term, prior to the start of the term. And then you would be covered for the summer of 2022 term, the fall of 2022, and the spring of 2023. And then prior to your beginning of the following summer of 2023, we're going to ask you to resubmit another one of these forms to make sure that you're still working at the Community Action Agency that you've also put in here, just to make sure that everybody who's receiving the grant is also still working at Community Action Agencies. We'll go back here and quickly take you through the rest of this page. So as you can see, we mentioned that there are some specific Community Action Agency trainings that we've already internally reviewed here with our academic advising office. And we are able to offer, as you can see, a certain amount of credits for example, if you've done your Roma training, you will get 6 credits immediately during the admissions process if you're able to provide us with the proper documentation of that training. And that will be added towards your degree progress here with us. Now that's 2 courses worth of credits right there. So that's saving you quite a bit of time and money when you're looking at your holistic degree progress. So this is a great page to visit in the future if you are thinking about moving forward. And that's why we think it's really important to share here with you all so you know what you have access to.
So let's say that you have been listening diligently and you realize this is the right program, the right time. Here's some important dates and deadlines to keep in mind. So for right now, we're recruiting for summer of this year, 2022. And so the application deadline is Monday, May 2nd of this year. Course registration begins in April. Again, that's for the summer 2022 semester. And then for the summer courses, they begin about the 3rd week of May. And so we all know how fast time goes, but if you're interested, I would apply now.
And just to kind of wrap everything up in a nice, pretty little bow, I think that we are a little biased, obviously, and we love Springfield College and we hope you do too. But here are some of the key reasons why we think that Springfield might be the right choice. First, our humanics philosophy of educating students in spirit, mind, and body for leadership and service to others guides everything that we do. It guides every interaction in the classroom. It guides every interaction that you might have in the virtual environment that we have too, if you're doing a fully online program. And really just, the way that we educate, everything stems back to that human service, that humanics philosophy. In addition, our focus on developing well-rounded students really does help prepare students for a variety of career paths that they could pursue after they leave, Springfield College. Our prior learning assessment program, that the experiential learning piece that we talked about, that really does provide students with credit for work and life experience that they already have, and recognizes that you're bringing valuable experience to the table and you should be rewarded for that. So we're really proud to be able to offer that, especially to folks, at community agencies that are doing such great work. And finally, our programs are designed to give options to the busy working professional, the busy adult that needs that flexibility and needs the options of maybe online schooling or the hybrid options that we offer through our regional sites. And with that, that concludes our presentation here. We did want to leave some time at the end for any questions that you might have. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen here so that we can, I was going to say, see all of your beautiful faces, but I see all of your beautiful names. So do we have any messages in the chat here? Any questions?
No, it didn't look like anybody had any questions while we were going along, but we're happy to take any now. We have some time.
Any questions at all?
Looks like you did a very thorough job of explaining everything, Melanie and Mitchell. All right, well, we'll hang out here for a little bit in case anybody wants to wait and ask any questions. But thank you all again for having us. Thanks, Jovita and Denise,
Yes,
for
thank you,
having us.
Jovita, everybody.
Thank you.
We're really happy to be able to present this material, and you have our contact information as well. So we'll send that out to everybody who attended. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask privately, that's absolutely fine too.
Awesome. Thank you so much for everybody that attended. And like Leanne said, we'll just hang out here for a few minutes. And if anybody has any questions, we'd be happy to answer.
Thank you, everybody.